Imagine a school where um, everything, literally everything hinges on points. Your lunch, your social status, maybe even your whole future.
Yeah, like a place where getting into a simple hallway fight could just, boom, wreck your academic career.
Sounds like an absolute pressure cooker, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's an environment designed for incredibly high stakes. Every little thing you do, it matters. Big time. Not just for you, but for your whole class.
So today we're doing a deep dive into exactly that place.
Yeah.
The Tokyo Metropolitan Advanced Nurturing High School. We've gone through a lot of material looking specifically at Class D's experiences.
Right. And we're going to try and unpack this really unique, kind of intense system.
Our mission basically is to get past the surface level
Yeah.
and show you how power and, well, survival work in a school where points aren't just money, they're like destiny.
Exactly. We're going to look at this one incident. It seemed pretty straightforward at first, but it just spirals.
And reveals a ton about the school, the students, everything. Okay, let's lay the groundwork. Tokyo Metropolitan Advanced Nurturing High School. Sounds fancy.
It is elite, government-backed, and it runs on this thing they call an unprecedented system.
Which boils down to the S-point system. Yeah.
That's the core, yeah. Points are the currency. You need them for absolutely everything. Daily stuff, food, even bigger things like appliances.
And you can't use real money, like at all.
Nope. Completely useless on campus. It's its own little economy.
Okay, and it gets trickier, right? There are different kinds of points.
You've got class points, CL points, and private points. So each month, the CL points your class has earned are multiplied by 100.
Multiplied by 100.
And that total gets deposited into each student's private account. So say your class has 1,000 CL points.
That's 100,000 private points. Like
Okay.
100,000 yen for the month.
Exactly, per student, which sounds pretty good.
But there's always a but.
But those class points, they fluctuated every day. Talk in class, lose points. Bomb a test, lose points.
Oof. So the whole class's allowance is constantly on the line because of individual action.
Pretty much. It's this constant collective accountability. Very clever in a way.
Or terrifying. And these points also decide your class rank, A through D.
Right. And that rank is everything. Get to Class A, and the school promises you the chance to attend the college of your choice or to get the job you wanted.
Wow. So it's not just about buying snacks, it's literally buying your future.
Precisely. Which makes the situation for Class D even more, well, grim.
Grim how? They started with 1,000 points, right? Like everyone else.
They did, but things went downhill fast. By May, Class D had 0 points. Zero.
Zero how?
Just accumulating deductions. Bad behavior, poor test scores, the works. And it continued in that vein until now, July 4th.
So for a month, they had to get by without cash. How do you even do that? No food? Nothing.
It must have been incredibly difficult, pure desperation. And then, insult to injury, by July 1st, they'd scraped together, 87 points?
Which should mean 8,700 private points each. Not great, but something.
But the distribution was delayed, so even that tiny bit of relief was held back. You can imagine the mood.
Yeah, frustrated doesn't even begin to cover it, I bet. This whole system sounds designed to create conflict.
And it certainly does. This dire situation is the backdrop for what gets called the Sudo incident.
Right, the fight. Our main character, Ayanokouji, sees it happen. Sudo, this red-haired kid.
Yeah. Sudo beating up 3 guys from Class C looked pretty one-sided.
Sudo's story is, well, he claims self-defense, right?
He says these Class C guys, Komiya and Kondu from the basketball club, called him over to this separate building, the special building.
And just jumped him.
He says they were always hassling him, jealous of his basketball skills, and this time they attacked first. Self-defense, he insists.
But Class C tells a totally different story.
Oh, yeah. They claim Sudo just beat them up for no reason, said he was always picking fights.
And they brought a bodyguard. Ishizaki.
That was their claim. Because they were supposedly scared of Sudo's reputation for violence. They really played up their injuries, too. Very calculated.
So the stakes are huge. Sudo could get suspended for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Mess up his club stuff.
Devastating for an athlete. But it was bigger than just him. For Class D,
If he's found guilty.
their hard-earned points are all going to be stripped away. All 87 of them, gone.
Back to zero. No pocket money at all. Again.
Exactly. The whole class punished. So the pressure was immense to prove his innocence.
But the initial search for a witness didn't go well.
Not at all. Hirata's group, Kushida's group, they searched, but no valuable information. Nothing.
And the class mood. Not exactly unified, huh?
Far from it. A lot of students didn't care much about the other class's points. They just wanted their own cash. Some, like this guy Ike, were ready to just give up on Sudo.
Throw them under the bus to potentially save themselves.
Basically, yeah. Even Horikita, who's usually pretty sharp, seemed kind of detached at first, saying stuff like, "We still don't know whether our points would go up as a class, really."
Wow. So the system is actually turning them against each other in a crisis.
It absolutely highlights that self-preservation instinct kicking in, especially when things are that desperate financially.
Okay, but this whole incident starts to peel back layers of the school itself, right? Their teacher, Chabashira Sensei, drops some bombshells.
She really does. She basically confirms the rumors, saying flat out, there's nothing you cannot buy with your points at this school.
Nothing, like anything.
Pretty much. And we have proof, remember? Ayanokouji had previously bought a single point for Sudo on a midterm.
Oh yeah, to stop him from getting expelled.
Exactly. So, academic failure. Just buy your way out. It shows the system isn't just about merit, it's about purchasing power, too. It monetizes, well, everything.
And the really wild one, changing classes.
Ah, yes. The big one. You can change classes by using your personal points.
But the cost is insane.
Colossal. 20 million points.
20 million? That's astronomical.
It basically makes it impossible for almost anyone, but the possibility exists. It creates this idea that individual wealth could, theoretically, let you bypass the whole class ranking system.
So is it about being smart or just being rich in points?
That's the million, or 20 million. Point question, isn't it? And she also mentions you can get points from clubs based on effort and participation.
So points for everything. Grades, behavior, clubs, maybe even loyalty?
It certainly seems that way. Every single aspect of school life is tied into this point economy.
Okay, back to the Sudo case. They need a witness, and they find one, but she's reluctant.
Very reluctant. Sakura Ari. She's in Class D, super quiet, keeps to herself.
How do they even figure out she saw something?
Well, Kushida and the others kind of shift tactics. Instead of looking for the witness, they start looking for someone who might have found a witness, and that leads them to Sakura.
And she has this whole secret life, right?
Yeah, this is pretty surprising. Turns out, back in junior high, she was a minor online celebrity. A gravure idol using the name Shizuku.
Like photos and stuff.
Had over 5,000 followers on Twitter. And her hobby, taking pictures, often by herself, in quiet places.
Places where no one was around, like the special building where the fight happened.
Exactly. She was there taking photos.
But why so hesitant? Just shy.
It's deeper than that. There was a stalker incident connected to her idol past. A store clerk who was a fan got her details from a camera repair firm.
Oh, wow. That's terrifying.
Right. And it explains why she was even hesitant to get her camera fixed when it broke later. She didn't want anyone having her information. Stepping forward as a witness meant risking exposure, bringing all that back.
Okay, that makes total sense. She's got a very real reason to want to stay invisible.
It really puts her fear into perspective. It wasn't just shyness. It was genuine fear based on past trauma.
So they managed to convince her somehow. And it leads to this big meeting.
Yeah, the official deliberation. Student council room. Very formal, high pressure.
Yep.
You've got the student council president there who, plot twist, is Horikita's older brother.
Oh, family drama potential.
Definitely. Plus the teachers, Chabashira from D, Sakagami from C, and even Hoshinomiya from B, who's always kind of stirring the pot, and all the students involved.
And Class C comes in prepared.
Totally. Like they had thoroughly rehearsed. Their answers were all consistent, smooth. Too smooth, maybe.
Smells like a setup.
That's the feeling. Then it's Sakura's turn.
And she's terrified.
Absolutely hunched and shrank away, much like a frog cornered by a snake, just crippled by shyness and fear.
And Chabashira doesn't help.
No, she actually piles on, questioning if Sakura's even telling the truth. Are you really the witness, Sakura? I think that it may be a lie made up by Class D. Really harsh.
Wow. Tough love or just tough?
Hard to say. But then Sakura does something amazing.
Yeah.
Despite shaking, she just slammed her hand on the desk and threw down some photos.
The picture she took. Proof.
Proof she was there, yes. A picture of the fight, date, and time stamped by her camera. Huge moment.
There's a catch, right?
There is. The photo shows the fight, sure.
Yeah.
But it shows it after Sudo hit Ishizaki.
So it doesn't prove who started it. Doesn't prove self-defense.
Exactly. It confirms a fight happened and she saw it, but it doesn't clear Sudo on its own. It's not the smoking gun they hoped for.
Okay, so it seems like they're still stuck. But then Horikita steps up.
Yes. After being quiet and just observing, she suddenly declares, I don't think Sudo-kun did anything wrong. And crucially, I'm convinced that this was a deliberate move made by Class C.
She calls them out on the setup.
She does. And then she proposes this complex strategy, the only possible solution to some Class B students, Ichino's and Kenzaki, admits it requires an exceptionally great burden on them.
Intriguing. What's the plan?
It unfolds carefully. Ichino's takes the lead, guided subtly by Ayanokouji in the background.
Ah, the unseen hand again.
Always. Ichino's confronts Class C, talks about fairness, and then drops the real bombshell.
Which is?
The existence of security cameras installed everywhere around the school. Cameras that are there to monitor what we do every day.
Wait, security cameras, they have those?
Apparently. And Class C clearly had no idea. This is the checkmate move. The definitive proof exists, even if they haven't seen the footage yet.
Because the school could check the tapes and see exactly how it started.
Precisely. Class C is totally cornered, sweating, panicking.
And they fold.
They have to. They withdraw their complaint. And they even have to pay a penalty, 20,000 private points.
Nice. Justice served cold and Sudo.
Cleared, suspension lifted, back to basketball. A huge win for Class D, orchestrated behind the scenes.
Okay, so the incident is resolved, but it leaves so many questions hanging, doesn't it? Especially about Ayanokouji.
Oh, absolutely. Horikita puts it together. She confronts him directly.
What does she say?
Basically lays it out. Ayanokouji-kun, you brought up surveillance cameras. You took me to the special building, made me realize there were no cameras there. Then you guided me to the idea of inventing false evidence.
Wait, inventing false evidence? What was that part?
That was part of the strategy. Suggesting they could fake evidence to pressure Class C, making them reveal if they had faked anything. It was a bluff, guided by him to smoke out the truth about the real evidence, the cameras.
Okay, clever. Manipulative, but clever.
Exactly. Horikita sees his fingerprints all over it. When I look back on it now, that's all I can think of, she says.
And his reaction? Still playing innocent.
Pretty much. Just a guy who dislikes trouble, he claims. Wants a peaceful life, but keeps getting involved a little too much.
Yeah, right.
He's clearly the mastermind.
It seems that way. Even Chabashira-sensei seems to sense it, has a gut feeling. She's seeing the evidence of Ayanokouji-kun's involvement. He's like this invisible puppet master.
But there's some positive outcomes too, right? Like with Sakura.
Yeah, there's this really nice moment where Ayanokouji and Ishino's actually help Sakura confront her stalker at the electronics store.
Really? That took courage from all of them.
It did. And it seems to really help Sakura find some strength, builds a genuine bond between them, a bit of humanity amidst the school's colder aspects.
And Ichino's the Class B student who helped. She starts questioning the system too.
She does. She starts wondering, do you really think they separated us by ability? Like, is the ranking actually fair?
Because if it is based on ability, then the lower classes are at an overwhelming disadvantage from the start. She's seeing potential flaws or maybe intentional design in how the school is set up. It's not just Class D wondering anymore.
And Ayanokouji himself, he has these dark thoughts.
Very dark. He has this internal monologue where he thinks, I knew more about me than anyone else. I knew just how defective, just how foolish I was. I was a horrible human being.
Whoa. That hints at something much bigger going on with him, a complicated past, maybe.
Definitely seems like it. There's way more to him than just wanting a quiet life. He's driven by something complex.
And the episode ends looking forward, right?
Yeah, it's
trouble brewing.
Yeah, there's this rumor about a tropical island vacation the school is supposedly giving them.
Sounds too good to be true.
Ayanokouji thinks so too. It was all incredibly suspicious. They had to be keeping something from us. He senses a trap.
Plus, there's a new name dropped. Ryuen.
Mm-hmm. Someone known for developing merciless strategies that could lead to our expulsion if we missed a single step. Sound like the games are about to get even more dangerous.
So, wrapping this up.
Yeah.
What have we learned? This deep dive really showed how one incident pulls back the curtain.
Yeah, you see the real mechanics of the school, the hidden strengths and weaknesses of the students, and this whole subtle art of manipulation playing out.
And you realize that in this place, everything can be currency. Information, strategy, maybe even trust.
Every single action has a point value attached. Every conversation could be a strategic move. It's intense.
So it leaves you wondering, right? In a world like that, how do you even define something like real friendship or kindness or even your own value?
And maybe the biggest question, if the quietest, most unassuming guy is secretly running the show, what does elite even mean at this school? What are they really nurturing?
Definitely something to think about. A lot to unpack there. We'll have to leave it there for this deep dive.